Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you how I made this number 5 cake without a cake mold and without a cake pan. Yes, so all you're going to need is like a cardboard paper or just a piece of paper. It's best if it's a thick cardboard paper though, because it makes your life a lot easier. So what you want to do is trace the number 5 on top of it. You want to trace it as big as possible so that you don't have to waste so much of your cake. I don't know if you get. The bigger you trace it, the less cake you have to waste, basically. And this style, you can only use it to maybe carve a cake that is maybe like a rectangular cake or a sheet cake or maybe a square cake. Basically a flat cake that you can carve the shape of what you want to carve. Maybe it's a number 4, number 5, number 3. Today we're going to be doing number 5, and this is how we're going to be doing it. Okay, so once you're done drawing your number 5, what you want to do is take a piece of scissors and then trace it out. Yeah, you want to cut out the part that is not part of the 5 so you can have the number 5 being, just number 5. Okay, so if you're going to be doing this for maybe a cake you want to cover in buttercream or fondant, it's a lot better if you use the other techniques. If you don't know the technique I'm talking about, you should check my other number cakes, like maybe number 4. Yes, I use the same technique for number 4, number 3, number 9. I have other number cakes on this channel, so I have 2 techniques of making that. So this is one of them. Yeah, and this is best for you if you're going to be using a rectangular cake or a square cake or basically a flat cake. So if you have like shape cakes, like maybe round and some other kind of shape, it's best to use the other technique. So you should check out those other videos. I'm going to put a link right up here for you. It says click on me. That's for the number 6, just for you to see the technique. Yeah, so this is our cake today. We're going to be using a red velvet cake that I baked in a sheet pan. And then, sorry, don't mind my kind of looks messy, but I promise it's delicious. Okay, so we're going to be dividing it into 2 equal halves so that we can have 2 rectangles, basically, because for this cake I want to have like 2 layers of 5s, so that there'll be one beneath and then there'll be cream, and then there'll be one on top and then there'll be cream. Yeah, okay, so moving on, what we want to do is to make sure, like, take your knife, your serrated knife, and then cut it in the middle and divide it into 2 before you turn it over, because that way you'll be able to see the actual middle before you turn it over. So once you've divided it into 2, then you can take your what's it called, make sure you try to cut the parchment paper as much as possible too, so that when you're dividing it will make it a lot easier. So now I'm taking out the excess the parchment paper by the side so we can like clean up the cake before we work with it. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is to basically clean up your cake. And when I say clean up, you want to cut out the excess jagged parts that are hanging over. Yes, those sides, you want to cut them off, so to make it as neat as possible. So like you have like a smooth cake, like a smooth base for you to trace your number 5 on. So you see like which parts are, like available to be traced. Like any other part that is not like well made and stuff and just hanging over, just like cut them off before you start to trace. Okay, now that we are done, we want to trace. If you notice, my number 5 is a little bit bigger than my cake rectangle, but don't worry, we're going to make it work. Don't worry. So now what you want to do is put your number 5 cardboard on it and just take a sharp knife, better still, preferably a small knife, because that way you have like a more precise cut than using the large cake serrated knife. So take a small knife and then just try to use it to just when I was saying take a small knife, I took a large one. Whatever, guys, do whatever works for you anyway. So just try to trace it out as much as possible and then pick out the excess part so you can fully see your number 5 take shape. Isn't it glorious? Oh, I'm the worst singer. Anyways, so now that we're done tracing our number 5, you're going to take your cream, so you can use that cream to attach it to your cake board. You don't just want to move it to your cake board, because that way you're going to have a number 5 that is, I don't know, that is not sticking to your cake. You're going to have a cake that kind of moves around on your cake board, and you don't want that, because it will be difficult for your customers to manage when they carry it around and stuff. And customers are not very careful, so you have to make sure it is well fixed before you like give them and stuff. Okay, so now guys, I'm using my I'm using my syrup for, this is my milky syrup that I use for red velvet cakes. I have 3 different kind of cake syrups I use for red velvet cakes, and I'm going to put the link right up here because I already made a video about that for you guys, like 3 different kinds of cake cake syrup, simple syrup that you can use for your red velvet cake. So I'm going to put the link right up here. So click on me, yeah, click on that. Okay, so moving on now, I'm putting my cream around the cake. And what you want to make sure you do is when you're placing the cream, you don't want to place it too much at the edge of the cake, because when you place the other layer that's going to be on top of it, it is going to press that cream to the side a little, so it will be bulging too much. So when you're putting your cream like this, you want to make sure like you don't put it too much to the edge of the cake, so that it won't start to spill over once you apply your other layer on top. Sorry. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is take your cream. Today I'm using whipped cream. If you notice, you can use buttercream for this, but I love to use whipped cream because I kind of notice my customers prefer whipped cream, so why not? Okay, so you can take some cream and just like put in the middle, just fill up that middle basically, or you can put a little filling if you want, if you use jams or compote, whatever it is you use. Yeah. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is to like cut out the other half of your cake, the other number 5 half of your cake, and then shape it as much as possible and try to make sure you are as accurate as possible so it will fit perfectly on top of the first one you did. And you have to make sure like you lift it very carefully, otherwise while you're lifting, this cake is very soft and very like easy to mess up because it's very soft and flat and like just easy to mess up basically. So you want to lift it very carefully so it doesn't fall apart on you, and then place it. So see what I'm saying? When you place your second layer on top and you press it, it is going to press some of the cream you added out a little bit. So that's why you don't want to make it too much to the edge. Okay, so we're adding our simple syrup again on top of this one so that our cakes can stay moist, because the annoying thing with this kind of naked cakes is that they dry out really fast. Basically, I tell my customers that cakes are like bread, yeah? If you leave it out, it will dry out. It's not because it wasn't well made or because it was a dry cake to start with, but because, you know, if you leave it out, it will dry out. It's just like when you don't rub cream on your body. You'll be ashy, not because you're an ashy person, but because, you know, nature takes its course. Okay, guys, so this was when like you know, I went to buy my berries to put on top of the cake. When I bought these berries, I still bought some to make jams and compotes for my cake from. So if you want to see the video on how I make jams and compotes for my cake filling, I'm going to put the link right up here. It says click on me. Yeah, click on that so you can see that. Okay, so I already had my berries washed the day before, because if you're going to be putting berries on top of your cake, or if you're going to be making fillings with it, it's best for you to wash them the day before. The reason is because like the water kind of drains to the bottom of your bowl or drains out before the next day. So like you have as little water as possible on and in your berries when you're decorating your cake. Okay, so moving on, I'm placing my whipped cream a little bit more to the edge this time, because like for this one there's not going to be another layer on top, so you want to like kind of like place it to the edge as much as possible, kind of like cover the number 5 on top as much as you can, because now you want it to look really pretty and you don't want it to be messy. Okay, so we're going to make sure we put our cream like you want to make sure like it covers every part of the red velvet basically, and then we're going to be putting our berries and some chocolate to decorate this cake. So if you were decorating this cake, what would you like add to it if not maybe berries? Okay, some people use strawberries though. You can do and undo. Basically there is no limit to, you know, creativity, so you can do whatever you want. It works perfectly for this kind of cakes. Just make sure your aesthetics with the placement of the decoration on top of the cake, and it will look very pretty. Okay, so today we're going to be using some raspberries and some blackberries. Okay, so we're going to just be placing them randomly on top of the cake. Yeah. Okay, so if you've not seen my other number cakes, I've made like quite a number of number cakes for you guys. I've made number 3, I've made number 6, I've made number 7, number 9, number, what else, number 4, and now this is number 5. I'm hoping to make like all 10 figures for you guys. So you know, now like I can't just put berries on a cake without adding like gold chocolate balls and stuff. So I'm using these gold chocolate balls to give you some accents on top of the cake and everything. So once I was done adding chocolate balls, I was not sure if I was like, you know, satisfied, because I have a gold obsession. So I decided to take my brush and then just apply some gold on top of the berries, just to make it come together a little bit more. And I like how this cake came out. So if you like this cake and you like how it came out, please leave me a comment in the comment section below. And if you're going to try it out, please leave me a comment as well. And make sure you follow me and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys so much.